Hello and welcome to another episode of my Facts and Glitches series, where I continue to showcase more of what I've learned about the game in my almost 13,000 hours of playing and from my awesome viewers. We get to choose what hacker we want to take for the roof entry approach to the Bureau raid. Whoever we choose can be found at the beginning of the mission, inside a disguised truck. Strangely, regardless of which hacker is chosen, their model is shown with both the hair and outfit of the hacker Paige Harris. While obviously Paige still looks normal, the other options, Christian Feltz and Ricky Lukens, are obviously not meant to look like this unless they became huge fans of Paige recently. Shooting someone non-facily typically results in a bleed-out animation. If the person is armed, they can even go into a last stand animation where they shoot back before eventually dying from their wounds. Interestingly, when this animation is prevented, the person you shot will instead die instantly. The most consistent example of this is when someone is shot non-fatally on stairs.
This is fucked.
Director mode includes a feature that allows you to freeze the in-game time. If you load a save file while in this state, the time freeze effect will be carried over into the real game, despite that you have now left director mode, and the effect should have therefore ended. In this example, you can see that I'm stuck at 15:08 because that is the time it was when I saved my game. This effect surprisingly even carries over to GTA Online, although I'm not sure what practical benefit it would have. During the fire crew approach to the Bureau raid, Michael disguises himself as a janitor to get inside the FIB building. As he enters, the camera pans to show the back of Michael's head as he flashes his fake janitor ID. While normally the front of this ID is impossible to see, with mods we can reveal that it has a picture of the beta version of Michael, seen most clearly in the early GTA 5 trailers. Another place this ID appears is on the mission I Fought the Law, as it's taken off one of the races by Michael. Unlike on the Bureau raid, you could hypothetically have noticed this while playing the game, but obviously it's unlikely many did. Moving near the mission Bury the Hatchet as Michael starts looping ambient music, and surprisingly this track continues to play if you switch characters. Understandably, this completely changes the tone of the game, and it even persists through missions.
They've rigged a jury to throw a class action lawsuit.
If you want to end the track, you simply need to switch back to Michael and leave his house. The police hate Lazlow just as much as everyone else. During reuniting the family, Michael confronts Lazlow at the tattoo parlor. If rather than doing that, you instead get a wanted level and hide around the back, the cops will get confused and so will begin shooting at Lazlow in the parlor. Fortunately for Lazlow, I guess tattoo parlors have bulletproof glass on their doors. It's also worth noting that you can do all of this after Michael and Lazlow's confrontation as well. Normally when you drive, your character has both hands on the wheel. However, with some lowrider vehicles in GTA Online, if you are going slow, your character will prop one arm on the side of the car, chilling while they steer with just one hand. This animation is not seen with any other class of vehicle, and your character stops doing it once you speed up, which is why many may not have noticed it. What's funny is that Franklin actually does this in the original trailer, so it's likely Rockstar just recycled those early assets when putting the final animation together. GTA 5's social media contains many inaccuracies. For example, on the mission Nervous Ron, Trevor initiates a shootout with the Lost MC at the Sandy Shores airfield. However, the bleater post created afterwards by Sandy Shores Steve incorrectly cites the shootout as having taken place at the Grapeseed Airport, which is the Mackenzie Field airstrip. Another such error can be seen after Dead Man Walking. When Michael wakes up in the IAA building, one of the morticians runs off and the other is caught by Michael and choked to death. After the mission on Bleater, Mortician Pete can be found saying he got away from Michael by running for his life. However, based on the profile picture, we can see that Pete is the mortician that Michael killed. It was the other one that ran away to safety. I think many of the errors in the social media posts could have come about by the missions themselves being later changed and the devs forgetting to update the post to reflect the changes. You can climb much further in first person. For example, here I am trying to climb to this box in third person camera. Regardless of how close I get or how I maneuver myself, the game will never initiate a grab on the ledge. Now compare this to first person, where it's incredibly easy. In this camera mode, the game warps your character to the ledge to assist you in getting up. Knowing of this mechanic is understandably very useful, as while playing you can often avoid falling if you just pick the right camera mode. As of right now, in October 2025, there is a glitch to spawn your Kosatka submarine anywhere using a yacht and asset lab. Stand next to the yacht captain and call in your sub via the interaction menu. Then quickly talk to the captain to move the yacht before the sub spawns. Once the yacht has moved, find a suitable road where you would like the sub to spawn. Note that dirt roads don't work. The last step is to request the Asset Lab delivery bike via the interaction menu, which will cause the sub to spawn on land close to you instead of the bike. While you can enter the sub as you please, exiting on foot will result in you spawning at the same location each time. Unfortunately, if you attempt to exit via the Sparrow helicopter, this will result in an infinite loading screen. At any point you can fast travel the sub back to the ocean from this glitch spot, but this will not fix the soft lock that can occur with your Sparrow helicopter. Even if Rockstar eventually patches this out, I still think it was worth including in this series because it's interesting that this was ever possible at all. There is a hidden way to save Jimmy in the optional mission Parenting 101. Normally we're instructed to trash the car of the kidnappers, with enough crashes resulting in them stopping and fleeing on foot. However, you can avoid all of this by just getting a police car, which is easy on this mission as you're unable to gain a wanted level. Turning on the sirens will instantly spook the kidnappers, causing them to stop and run away. Other types of sirens do not have the same effect, which implies this is an intentional method of saving Jimmy added by Rockstar. The mission fails for Franklin sneaking into Michael's house on the mission complications are more interesting than you think. As you likely already know, any significant noise causes you to mission fail, as can be seen when you use an unsuppressed gun. Running in the house also causes sufficient noise for you to fail, as you can see when the blue noise circle on the map reaches any of the family members. Unsurprisingly, you can also fail by getting too close to anyone in the house. What's interesting though, is using a flashlight, at times not even directed towards a family member, will also cause a mission fail. This apparent light sensitivity is even funnier when you contrast it to their response to suppressed weapons, which do not at all alert the family. Playing tennis at Michael's house while on a hangout causes your most recently used vehicle to spawn under this arch after the game. When designing this mechanic, Rockstar clearly didn't factor in the possibility that you might drive a very large vehicle.
Looks like you're my next victim.
On the mission The Wrap Up, Trevor shoots the pilot of a Merryweather Buzzard to save Michael. If you instead shoot the chopper's tail, the helicopter will be destroyed, but the cutscene won't start. This results in a soft lock, meaning you can no longer progress. There is very little you can do in this state, as rolling is your only available movement, and Trevor will continuously make weird noises. You can eventually roll out to get a car and explore, but there is still no way to progress, and thus you'll eventually have to fail the mission to move on. I previously showed that the inaccessible room in Michael's home is actually a shower and bathroom that you can sometimes hear Jimmy using.
I used all the shower gel on my balls!
However, it's also possible to find Tracy using it.
Can someone tell Jimmy to stop beating off in the shower?
Most of her lines revolve around her annoyance and disgust at having to share the usage of the room with Jimmy.
Jimmy seriously has to stop shaving his pubes in here!
Using mods to look inside, we can see that the room is not modeled, and Tracy is wearing a random outfit and smoking being the default character animation that NPCs do when none is set by Rockstar.
More Jimmy pubes! Gross! Ew! I think Jimmy did something in the shower! We're running out of hot water! I seriously need my own bathroom! Can we get the maid to spend more time in here? It's so gross! My conditioner is gone! Who stole my conditioner?
The highest you can go in GTA 5 is 2,470 meters or 8,100 feet. Chop cannot get into flying vehicles, but if you jump yourself onto some buildings with him in your car, Chop is at times not able to understand the danger he is in. Is he gonna come down? Oh, shit. The mission Chop involves Chop attempting to mate with another dog. It is, however, possible to skip this scene entirely by simply killing the other dog.
Get back on that fat motherfucking Chop. We in this together, Chop. Let's go.
Any customization to a personal vehicle will carry over into mission replays, including for missions that occurred before your chosen upgrades were even unlocked. One interesting aspect of this is that upgrades to Franklin's bike apply to the mission replay of repossession. This is funny because the upgrades apply to the bike before Franklin even acquires it. It's also the case that upgrades to Amanda's car, except resprays, apply permanently, and can therefore be used in the mission replay for father-son.
The yacht's been stolen? Alrighty then.
Repeatedly drinking the beer in the kitchen of Franklin's first safe house until you black out will cause Franklin to wake up in his second safe house if it's unlocked. Normally this is impossible because after Franklin moves, you can't gain access to his first home in free roam, but there is actually one way to do this. After the first assassination mission, if you continuously use your phone, it delays the phone call with Lester that causes the game to move Franklin to his new safe house after it concludes. You can delay it until you're inside Franklin's first safe house, then you can let the phone call connect and conclude, which results in Franklin's safe house being relocated. It is at this point you can drink the beer until you pass out, resulting in you waking up in your new safe house. The wooden poles attached to this type of light disappear when you shoot their light bulbs. This happens for every one of these light posts, regardless of where they spawn in the game. So that's the end of the episode. Thank you for watching. If you think you know of anything that would be of interest to this series, feel free to add it to my Discord. I hope you're all doing well.